Hello Muslim friends in the world. A heated debate took place at one of the Orthodox churches in Moscow last weekend, when an Orthodox priest met a Muslim man in an open discussion about theology and religious values. The event was held as part of an interfaith dialogue and was attended by a diverse audience, including Orthodox Christians and Muslims. The Muslim man, known as Muhammad Hasan, a preacher recognized for his expertise in religious debates, presented strong arguments on the oneness of God, the nature of prophethood, and the similarities in ethical teachings of Islam and Christianity. He emphasized how Islam views Jesus as a prophet and respects other prophets, including Moses and Muhammad, as messengers of God who brought messages of peace and justice. During the discussion, Muhammad Hasan gave an in-depth explanation of the concept of God in Islam, which was met with a serious response from the priest. Although he tried to answer according to Orthodox doctrine, the priest was reportedly struggling to respond to some fundamental questions Hasan raised about the concept of the Trinity and the status of Jesus in Christianity. Hasan's logical arguments, based on the Quran and Old Testament scriptures, drew admiration from some of the audience members, including church attendees. After the debate lasted for more than 2 hours, the audience in the church seemed impressed by Muhammad Hasan's perspectives. Some churchgoers even said the discussion gave them a new perspective on Islam. "I didn't expect there to be so many similarities between these two religions, and I was surprised at how much Islam respects Jesus as a prophet," one churchgoer remarked after the event. This debate event opened many people's eyes and increased interest in interfaith dialogue in Russia. On social media, the event also sparked much discussion, with some netizens praising Hasan for his deep religious knowledge and respectful approach. This also demonstrated that interfaith meetings with openness and respect could be a pathway to better understanding and peace. With the growing interest in interfaith dialogue, some religious leaders in Russia are proposing regular interfaith discussion forums so that each side can better understand one another's beliefs, aiming for harmony within a multicultural society. In a surprising turn of events at an Orthodox church in Moscow, a local Orthodox priest decided to embrace Islam after losing a theological debate with a Muslim man named Muhammad Hasan. The event, initially intended as an interfaith dialogue, turned intense as Hasan, a Muslim preacher, delivered strong arguments about the concept of God's oneness and Islam's view of the prophets. Before an audience that included both churchgoers and Muslims, Hasan deeply discussed Islam's teachings on the one Almighty God and the role of prophets, including Jesus, who is respected in Islam as a prophet rather than part of the Trinity concept. This explanation seemed to touch the heart of the Orthodox priest, who became increasingly impressed by Hasan's arguments about the simple and pure concept of God in Islam. Although he initially tried to uphold the Orthodox view, the priest appeared to have profound doubts about his own beliefs when confronted with Hasan's questions. After more than 2 hours of debate, the priest stated that Hasan's arguments had opened his heart. Unexpectedly, at the end of the debate, he publicly recited the shahadah, declaring his conversion to Islam in front of the audience. "I feel I have found the true path in Islam," he said emotionally. This sudden decision surprised many attendees, including the church congregation. Some expressed shock, while others were moved by the priest's sincerity in acknowledging his change of heart. Russian social media was also abuzz with this news, with many netizens giving diverse responses. This event has sparked increased interest in interfaith dialogue in Russia and highlighted the importance of openness and sincerity in seeking spiritual truth. Muhammad Hasan, a key figure in the event, expressed his hope that the former priest's decision would inspire people to seek truth with an open mind. Many religious leaders in Russia are now calling for more interfaith forums, with the hope that people from diverse backgrounds can better understand each other and live together peacefully. In another unexpected incident at an Orthodox church in Moscow, several congregants followed their priest's example by embracing Islam after witnessing the intense debate between the priest and a Muslim preacher, Muhammad Hasan. The event, initially an interfaith dialogue, ended with a mass recitation of the shahadah, making this incident a major topic of discussion in the community. The moment was filled with emotion, as Muhammad Hasan guided them one by one in reciting the shahadah. Reactions in the church varied widely. Some congregants were emotional, while others appeared deep in thought, seriously contemplating this major decision. One member who embraced Islam commented, "Seeing our priest embrace Islam with sincerity made me realize that perhaps this is the true path." The incident quickly became a hot topic on Russian social media, with many netizens expressing both surprise and appreciation for their sincerity in seeking the truth. Muhammad Hasan, who led the dialogue, expressed his gratitude and hoped that this moment could inspire more peaceful dialogues between followers of different religions. This story highlights the importance of open and respectful interfaith dialogue and serves as a reminder that a person's spiritual journey can end at an unexpected point. Religious leaders in Russia are now proposing that more interfaith dialogues be held to bridge understanding between people of different faiths and to build harmony in a diverse society. An Orthodox church in Moscow now appears quiet and has lost most of its loyal congregation after the extraordinary event where the priest and some followers chose to embrace Islam. This happened following an interfaith discussion that brought together the priest and Muhammad Hasan, a Muslim preacher known for his expertise in religious debates. The discussion at the church was initially intended as a peaceful exchange of ideas between the two major religions. However, Hasan's arguments about the concept of God's oneness in Islam and his deep explanations about the prophets touched the priest's heart, leading him to recite the shahadah in front of his congregation. The priest's decision surprised many loyal congregants, and some who were also moved by his explanations followed in his footsteps. As a result of this event, the church, which was once filled with worshippers, now appears empty. Many of the congregants who used to attend weekly services have now either converted or are seeking other places of worship. One church official mentioned that they experienced a drastic decline in attendance and that the atmosphere in the church now feels very different. "There is sadness, but we respect the decision they made," he said. The story of this church quickly spread across various social media platforms and became a hot topic in society. Many view it as one of the impacts of deep and open interfaith dialogue, while others lament the reduced religious activities in the church. Some Orthodox church officials in Russia are now re-evaluating their approach to interfaith dialogue, trying to understand the spiritual changes occurring within the community. Meanwhile, Muhammad Hasan hopes that this event can inspire deeper and more peaceful interfaith dialogues, with the hope that people may become more open in their search for sincere and honest spiritual understanding.